Welcome back to the Arctic Den. Today we are playing a visual novel called Locked Out. You get locked out of your house and someone's following you. Or something. It's so freaking cold. I can't wait to get back home and take a long hot shower. You really should have checked today's weather forecast. Too bad for you, you can't get inside your house. It was much colder than expected, and it had been snowing since late morning, covering the city in a white blanket. The regret for your fashion choices hit you on the way home from work. Your sneakers were not made to walk in the snow. Bad bees don't get cold, your best friend would probably say. But at that moment, you certainly didn't feel like one of them. Human Popsicle would suit you better. Luckily, you were almost back home. You could already see the small building where you lived. Oh boy, finally home. There were only 6 apartments in the building, 3 on the ground floor and 3 in the upper one. Your apartment was 202 in the middle. It wasn't a big place, but it was more than enough for you. The rent was great, calm neighborhood, and you really enjoyed living there. And now, in this freezing night, it was your warm little piece of heaven. Huh? Where are my keys? When you opened your bag and reached for your keys, you couldn't find them. Ah yes, a pocket mirror. You can summon demons with those. There was so much stuff inside your bag, no wonder you couldn't find what you needed. Come on. It didn't feel good to have your hands out of your warm pockets. Pushing the unnecessary things aside. Opening and closing zippers. Checking the same place 3 times. No sign of the keys. A cold sensation at your stomach and you tried to brush it off. This can't be. Did I leave him at work? You just wanted to enter your home. You took a deep breath. Panicking wouldn't help you. Okay, think. Stopping the search for a moment, you tried to retrace your steps from this morning. I've only opened my bag a few times today. I took my phone out, got my wallet to pay for lunch at the cafeteria. If something had falling out of my bag, I'd have noticed it. But if they're not here, then where? Where would they be? Your eyes traveled to your door, specifically towards your lock. You've got to be kidding me. It was suddenly obvious. You know why your keys weren't with you. They were still in the lock. Inside of the apartment. Earlier today, you needed to run to not miss your first train. Oh no. He's in your house. So you unlocked the door, put on the shoes that stood outside and stormed back in without looking back. Crap, I can't believe it. How can I be this stupid? You wanted to punch a wall. The situation could have easily been prevented. Your lack of attention made you furious at yourself. You needed to think of a solution and quick. You could be mad at yourself later, when you're not outside and freezing. What now? Your spare keys were also in your apartment. Somewhere in a drawer in your bedroom. Until that moment, you'd never used them or given to someone you trusted. Another mistake. Maybe the credit card trick. I remember hearing that you could try slipping a card in between the door and the frame to unlock it. Getting out your wallet, you grabbed a random old card that was no longer used. Screwing up your actual bank card for this was way too risky. You'd have thought that keeping junk like this in my wallet would come in handy one day. But I definitely need to get rid of some old stuff. Please work. You tried and tried. The card was even bent afterwards. The lock didn't budge though. You're dead now. A defeated sigh came from you. You knew the locks were good. After someone had tried breaking into one of your neighbor's apartments a year ago, the landlord made the building more secure. Made you safer to live here, but unironically, now you found yourself wishing it was easier to break in. The only thing left to do is call a locksmith. This is gonna be so expensive. Ring ring, ring ring. It rang and rang. No answer. You tried the second one. Come on. Someone picked up. You talked to a woman, briefly explained the situation. She said there was a locksmith who could come to your place. Due to the bad weather and the fact your apartment was on the other side of town, it'd take an hour to an hour and a half for him to arrive. Thank you very much. Likewise. Your hands were ice cold. The thought of waiting out here for so long sounded terrible. But where else would you go? Alright. I can't save. Oh no. Please don't give me QuickTime events. The shops nearby were all closed, except for a small 24/7 convenience store you didn't really like going to. You're pretty sure I'd already killed a man. Wondering if that someone's place would be a viable option at this time. You thought of Miss Lima. She's one of the neighbors that live downstairs. If only she were home. In winter, she would escape the cold and travel to the country where she was born and raised to visit some of the family who lived there. While you were deep in snow, it was warm enough to walk down the street in flip-flops. Ooh. You were jealous as you thought about how nice it'd be if it was warm right now. You also wished your best friend lived closer to you. She would love to help you too. Maybe I deserve this. It can only be some kind of punishment or... Sally? Ah yes, hello my favorite Yandere person. When you met his gaze, you recognized the young man. Kian, the new neighbor. He's been living in the building for around a month, in one of the apartments next to yours. Since then, you've met him a few times in the hallway. Even though you didn't talk much, he was always very nice. Too nice. Now though, his face showed a certain curiosity. Hey. You looked down to the closed plastic bag he carried and it looked like garbage. He wants to throw the trash out and I'm blocking the way. Sorry, let me move. Taking a quick step to the side, you made way for him to walk through, but he remained on the same spot. Oh, no, it's all good. I just wanted to ask if everything was alright. The surprise of being approached in the hallway almost made you forget for a second why you're outside your apartment. Part of you didn't want to share what happened, but you didn't have enough energy to come up with an excuse to explain your situation. You just said it straight away. I'm locked out. Oh, have you lost your keys? No, they're inside, still in the lock. Losing them would have been probably worse, but it definitely sounded stupid enough to say out loud that you'd locked yourself out. A brilliant move, I know. It can happen to anyone, don't be so harsh on yourself. I can confidently say, I have never done that. A nice roundhouse kick directly in my lock would be cool. I'm afraid I've stopped going to my taekwondo practice too early. He chuckled and you couldn't help but smile a little. I've called a locksmith and he's coming over. Thank you for asking. I wish he would arrive faster. I was told it was going to take more than an hour to come here and then I might be frozen. Are you going to wait out here for him? I don't know yet. I could go to the convenience store and sit down and wait, but the dude that works there, he's pretty creepy. Exactly. Notice that too, right? I'm still figuring out what to do. Would you like to come and wait for the locksmith at my place? You said it'll take a while to come. You can stay in my apartment and warm up until he's here. Is he really inviting me in? Sus. It's already really late. You probably want to go to sleep or have something else to do. All my extremely important 3 in the morning plans can be put off until later, don't worry. It's really fine. I wasn't going to sleep right now anyways. I was gonna watch you while you sleep. I completely understand. Feel free to decline. The concept of going to a stranger's house so late didn't suit you. But he wasn't really a stranger, was he? He's a stranger. If it's really not a problem. I like that, thank you very much. Don't mention it. I just need to bring this downstairs if you don't mind. Would you like to come inside already? I can open the door for you and I'll be back in a second. I can wait here, it's okay. After he put the bag in one of the garbage cans, he walked back up. You stood a little awkwardly next to him as you waited for the door to be opened. Trying not to stare, you looked away. After unlocking the door, he turned to you and gestured for you to enter first. As you walked into his apartment, the first thing you noticed was how warm it was. So comfortable in contrast to the cold outside. There's also a good smell in the air. Didn't know exactly what it was, but it was sweet. Oh no. Wait, did I say hit a crystal? You cannot trust people who look at crystals. You can just put yours next to mine. It was the same size as yours, had the same layout, although the way you arranged the furniture made the space seem a little larger. Please make yourself at home. You thanked him with a nod and sat down on the sofa. If you don't mind me asking, why are you still awake? Most people are normally asleep by now. Let's just say my sleep rhythm isn't the best. I often have insomnia. And today's one of those days, I imagine? Yep. At the beginning it bothered me, but I've learned to deal with it over the years. Instead of struggling for hours trying to sleep, I just go and do other things until I feel tired. Which turns out to be useful for my work. I end up finishing a lot of projects when I can't sleep. Over the years, you said. I can't imagine having insomnia for so long. I'm always very irritated when I can't sleep and I feel like crap the next day. The only good thing about staying awake at night is everything's slower and calmer. The peace at night isn't dead nice. Why do you use this time when you can't sleep to work? Do you work overtime in the early hours? What do you do? You realize how nosy you sounded, but the curiosity was too great. You chuckled at the bombardment of questions. I'm a video editor. You raised your eyebrows. Some of the projects are more complex. Others have shorter deadlines, so that extra time is welcome. I see. What kind of videos do you work on? Music videos, short films, productions for events. Freelancer. That's actually very cool. You look like you work with something creative. I thought you'd say I was more of a computer science guy or so. Could also be. What you do now already sounds fitting for some reason. Do you like your job? Yes. Sometimes it's a bit stressful, of course. Dealing with difficult clients can test your patience. Working in a restaurant, working retail. Yeah, they can all test your patience really, really much bad. It is generally very fun. I like being able to use my creativity. Sure, I'd love to see it. What about you? What do you do? If someone had asked you this question in the presence of your mother, the situation would have been a little awkward. Saying you work in a bar sounds like you're telling people you're a stripper, even though you only serve drinks to customers from behind a counter. I'm a bartender. The perfect job for someone who doesn't drink alcohol. So, you haven't tried the drinks you make? I used to when I was learning how to mix them. Nowadays I don't. Please tell me you can do cool tricks while mixing. You should see me juggling liquor bottles. I'm also studying journalism at Serene University. Ah yes, must be a very peaceful place. Heh, that was terrible. My 9-year-old self probably had other plans for myself. Afraid a chance to think more about it, he suddenly stood up from the couch. I'm sorry, what about host time? I haven't offered you anything yet. Would you like something to drink? Coffee, tea? What do you like? Fennel, chamomile, mint, wild berries. Last favors. Alright, I'll be right back. Is he gonna drug our tea? Oh, how I miss my bed. You shook your head to yourself. While you were waiting for Kian, you remained seated on the couch. The lights he had at the entrance, living room and small dining room created such a nice ambiance. It made you even feel a bit ashamed of your own apartment. I really need to do some deep cleaning this weekend. At the time, you had just moved out of your parents' house and barely had enough money to support yourself. In the modern day, you really can't afford to be by yourself anymore. I wonder what he'd like to read. No way. Your eyes widened in surprise when you saw a little Matryoshka doll. You couldn't see it up close because you were on the couch. She's just like my Angelina. It is. What a coincidence. Huh. Huh, joke's on you. That is your Matryoshka doll. I think. I mean, no thanks. He took the pot and delicately poured the tea into the porcelain cups. What a wonderful smell. Very nice, isn't it? I always drink it when I'm working late. Funny how I didn't drink tea before. I only started when I got into university and gradually came to love it. I've always loved tea. But it can take time to fall in love with something different than what we're used to. You blinked. The way he spoke and looked at you, you felt your face becoming warmer. Receiving the tea with a quiet thanks, you looked away from him before you lost your cool. Did he just flirt with you? Nah, that wasn't it. Pull your crap together, Sally. Trying your best to ignore the warmth on your face and the quicker pounds on your chest, you focused on the cup in front of you. Don't get seduced by the Yandere. Wait, no, actually. Do that and you won't die. I'm glad you like it. I prepared the blend of herbs and fruits myself. You blend your own tea. So, you can mix drinks and I can't make my own tea. Touché. Another one of my late night activities. What productive insomnia do you have? I can prepare a package for you if you'd like. I'd love to. Ken was a greater company than you'd expected, and you found yourself genuinely having fun just drinking tea together. He was easy to talk to and you liked that. You told him how you decided to study journalism, although your parents weren't happy with the decision. You shared your vision about doing what you truly want, even at the cost of not fulfilling other people's expectations. But then, even though you were enjoying the conversation, you felt very tired. Sally, would you excuse me for a minute? I need to use the bathroom. Of course. You wonder why his couch was so comfortable. Why you felt like slightly sinking into your seat. Then for a second you closed your eyes, drifting away before you could even notice. That didn't feel right. You should not be sleeping. Wake up, Sally. You had passed out for 2 hours. 2 entire hours. The guy's probably already gone. I wasn't there. There was nobody there and he must have gone away. Sally? Please calm down. He put the cup aside, the cup he was holding, and walked over to you. Don't worry, I've already taken care of it. When he arrived, I was there, so I talked to him myself. Service is already done and we got your keys back. And walking back to you, he put it in your hands. Hold up. He met the locksmith and he probably got a spare set of keys so he could enter your apartment. Yes, that's totally what he did. I need to use my context clues because this man's a Yandere. I shouldn't have fallen asleep here in the first place. I was absolutely tired. I don't know what happened to me. That's so embarrassing. Hey, it's perfectly fine. Don't stress over it. I noticed how tired you were, so when I came back to the room and saw you, I couldn't bring myself to wake you up. Sorry I didn't call you when the locksmith arrived. You shouldn't be apologizing. I'm the one who actually caused this. You've done a lot to help me. I really appreciate it. It seemed like everything was out of your control tonight. Hope the service was at least quick and... oh my gosh. You paid the guy yourself, didn't you? How much did he charge you? He just chuckled. Don't worry, it wasn't that expensive. You don't need to worry about it. Come on. Tell me, I need to pay you. You don't need to. The one who invites pays. It's a clear rule. What the hell is that supposed to mean? I'm not gonna let you pay for the locksmith. You know what? I have a better idea. You can invite me for coffee later, then we'll call it even. Like a date? And again he caught you off guard. Before you noticed, the words made their way out of your mouth. Sounds nice. Then we have a deal. But wait. I don't think it's a fair exchange. You have to drink more than 10 coffees for me to pay you back what I owe. Make it 20. I'm joking. I think it's fair enough. And before I forget, there's something else for you. He picked up a small package and handed it to you. Your tea. Oh, thank you. It's drugged. Don't worry. Everything's gonna be all alright. Just trust on this, Yandere. I've already enjoyed your hospitality, more than enough. Got my keys back and even a gift. Now you can enjoy your peace again. Thank you very much for helping me out. You smiled at him, truly grateful. It was a pleasure. A nice rest of your night, yeah, you too. Going home and sleeping on your bed was all you wanted. Good night, Sally. Despite the cold from outside, you still felt warm. Going over to your room, you put aside the tea you got from your neighbor before taking your phone out. You were not happy about the result. And before you went to the bathroom to get yourself ready to bed, you stopped and looked at your phone again. The idea of buying him coffee was sweet, and you were looking forward to seeing him again. But you hated the feeling of owing people money. Maybe it sounded weird, so you told her if someone else had paid for it. 1 second, please. Well, it didn't cost anything since you canceled the service. I must say that our guy was not happy about driving all the way there for nothing. He came in here and opened the door. I never called it off. Your boyfriend did. He said you guys had found a spare key, managed to open the door, and the work would no longer be necessary. Look, miss, I suggest not doing something like this. Being sure of the work being needed before you call, because nobody wants their time wasted. I understand. My sincere apologies for the inconvenience. You need to pay your neighbor a visit earlier than you thought. I thought you'd already be sleeping. What'd you do that for? You grabbed him by the neck and pushed him against the wall. I just found out what you did with the locksmith. How did you open my door? It looked like you couldn't breathe. That was a nice play. That you pulled out there really fooled me. Look, Ian, I don't know what was on your mind when you decided to do that, but I will tell you something. If you think you can pull some kind of slick, dirty trick, stalk me, get into my apartment, whatever it is you want, think again. I assure you I can destroy you. You know, that was much better than I expected. Is that it? So was that guy meant to be just a Yandere, like, stalker kind of person? And does that mean he's also a masochist because he got turned on by you beating him up? I didn't expect this game to have that kind of ending. Huh. I need to read some of the comments on the itch.io page. If you guys have enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. As always, goodbye. What a weird ending.